We are live.
Woo!
Woo! Hi, Internet! Alright. Let me find my voice already. It's a brilliant start out of the gate. We're all here. Last time, in our game session, you guys had arrived at Flint's hometown of Dunmaro, expecting... Well, I don't know exactly what everyone was individually expecting, but I'm assuming calamity, smoke, debris. Instead, you walked into a bizarrely calm, completely together and functioning, if a little depopulated, exterior town to the mountain that Flint is familiar with, having additional city inside. Made your way to Dad's smithy, had a brief conversation there, a little bit weird. Then made your way over to the temple that Flint used to work at until just very recently, which was devoid of activity except for one specific acolyte who was working there. It was a new hire, was still being trained when all of the calamity went down a week ago. And in a brief flash of opportunity, decided to shank our poor paladin in the back. Turned out not to be as good of a combatant as he wanted to, and with Tony and Blaskin backing him up, the trio quickly held and or dispatched the acolyte, who, shockingly, melted into a kind of gray humanoid creature upon death, no longer resembling the dwarven priest-to-be that he had been posing as. And that's where we picked up.
A real jerk butt.
So, currently, the setting is, I think all of you are in the Temple to Torog, on the northern end of the outer city. No one else alive in the building except for you right now. Yeah, that's it.
Damn.
We should rest here.
Well, I mean, you guys made some noise. Like, we heard you guys, so maybe we need to, like, I don't know, bar the door or something?
If you're a coward.
A realist.
As Flint says, if you're a coward, Blaskin leans over and looks at the big knife wound in his back.
You got some red coming out there.
Yeah, you're still wounded, man.
Oh, I forgot to post that for y'all before we started, but I don't know for y'all what are in the metal, but that's my early Father's Day gift.
Ooh, that's cool. No,
I know that's an important name.
Yes, it is. And it's
Wow.
cool.
Oh,
One of my idols.
My
That's
brain
cool.
cut the word metal out of that second sentence, so it just said, of God himself. The autograph of God himself.
Well, basically, I mean, it is Rob Halford's autograph, so I mean, it's the signature of God.
Wait, so someone ran off and got that signed?
Oh no, my wife found it from a guy it's a Beckett certified deal. She found it online and ordered it for me.
Sweet.
And of course, she's bad with gifts because for the last decade, since I was a child, I can guess gifts real easy just by picking up boxes, shaking them, stuff like that. So she won't even let me touch stuff anymore. But I still guess what stuff is. And
Don't touch the guitar.
The only thing she said today is well, I was happy. I snuck my gift in for you for Father's Day. Managed to get it hidden while you were taking a nap. Because I'm like, well, so that shouldn't be too hard if I'm sleeping. She goes, yeah, but it's an odd-shaped box. So
crap.
What do you mean odd-shaped box? And she goes, it would be hard. You would know what it is if you saw the box. And she goes, I want to give it to you now, but I can't. I'm like, so I start thinking about stuff. See, last time you got me an autograph Gary Gygax's book. You got to try to up your game. So it's either going to be something with Stan Lee or Rob Halford. And if you probably got like if you had a jacket of his, one of his actual authentic, he's worn on stage leather jackets, that'd be awesome. But you probably got like one of their guitars, and then when I said guitars, her face, she made this face like, oh shit, and I'm like, oh, that's it, you got me an autographed guitar, did you? She's like, god damn it. So she's like, okay. I'm like, okay, give it to me now since I figured out what it is.
Darn it, you saw through all my hints.
All she said was an oddly shaped box, though.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's well. How?
That's
I guess,
fair.
I guess a jacket wouldn't come in an oddly shaped box, though,
No,
right?
you could just put that in a regular square box.
Yeah. Obviously, a guitar it would either be a really big square box or it would be an oddly shaped box.
Yeah, it's more of a like a odd triangle shape
Okay.
because it's smaller at the head of the guitar.
Cool.
Sorry for derailing.
Well
I was
planned.
super,
No,
super,
you're
super happy
fine.
with that.
I mean, you get
Congratulations.
to do it sometimes too. It's usually like everyone else.
You can tell he's excited about this one. You
Oh,
can go
yeah,
right in
I'd
there.
say
Right?
that's- there's only. I told her she's painted herself in a corner because the next one she's only got one more to go, so I know it's going to be a Stan Lee something. If she can, if we
It's
can find one we
Stan
can
Lee.
afford.
It is just Stanley's
His
remains.
bones. She's dug him up, and we're going to prison.
Oh shit!
No, and the necromancer. Yeah, she hires a necromancer to revive him.
Gonna do
It's
some
okay.
weekend
Necromancer's just a
Stacey's,
really
stuff.
late cleric.
Yeah. Get you back.
She
on your
hires
feet,
a
though.
really late doctor to resuscitate him.
What was the old necromancer joke I saw once? It was I didn't get my medical license revoked for nothing.
I'll be right back.
Nice. So yeah, you're in the temple. I guess that's all I can give you because you guys were in conversation. So
I'm gonna go ahead. Who needs Lucky? You still need a lot of healing, right?
You see. Don't. Yeah. I'm kind of 50-50. I'm 27 of 44.
Well, I think we're getting ready to take a rest, so I may as well pop my first level spell slots at least.
So if we're resting, then it won't matter. But
Do we automatically get all health back on a long
if it's
rest?
a long rest, yes, you go back to max.
Oh, okay. I'm crazy then.
Now, are we wanting to like camp in this church thing, or
That's what our friend Flint wants to do.
okay? Well, I can throw up a Lehman's tiny hut, secure shelter, whatever.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So it's currently what, like, you guys got up in the morning, you trekked through the Blue Dragon fight, which was about 2 hours of travel. Yeah, it'd be like 10:30, 11 o'clock right now in the morning.
Okay, I'm back.
So it's just morning time. Okay, there's no
Yeah,
need to rest
effectively.
then.
No, I'm just giving you context.
No, it is. I hate that with my home groups when they do this. Like they'll alpha strike shit. They're like, we need to rest. It's like you've been up 10 minutes. It's like no, y'all should have like not alpha struck
So-
everything.
I'm gonna let you guys make the call. I'm just giving you the context that if you decide to do a long rest now, it'll be about 7 or 8 p.m. when you guys finish.
Well, wouldn't that just make it stealthier for us?
What our druid needs to do is memorize healing spirit.
Memorize what?
Healing spirit. That is the best out of combat pick me up for everybody, because it's you summon a healing totem basically, and if you start your turn or enter it during your turn, you roll a d6 for healing. It lasts for 1 minute. Well, everybody gets a turn, so you make a conga line and you just keep or do the hokey pokey, and you step in and step out, and you can heal the entire party. And since it's 10 rounds, you've got like 10d6 healing on every single person in the group for one spell slot.
What was the name of the spell?
Healing spirit. I mean, it can be used in combat too, which is very useful because your fighting stuff is just that little tick, but it's a phenomenal after combat heal. You just need to rest and prepare it.
Yeah. Let's see. Check it. Oh, see, I don't have that. It's from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Oh, the list I usually look at doesn't have the entire, the whole spell list, so I had no idea that was there. Yeah, I can totally actually do that, though. Yeah, that is the thing I can grab. I'm trying to dump Healing Word anyway, so.
Healing Word's a great range, just get up off the ground spell.
Yeah. But we already have somebody with Healing Word anyway. I was just trying to do extra stuff with it. Anyway, it seems like we're probably going to take a long rest in here. Are we all in agreement on that?
Yeah, I'm. Will and Tony are cool getting a rest.
I vaguely, I don't remember too much about the last 4 hours or so. We fought a dragon and
Yeah, I mean the dragon alone.
It's yeah.
Yeah, we probably need to get some sleep after that.
That. I was thinking about this earlier. Flint. Let's see. Look at your skills. Nope. No, that's not. Can you give me a wisdom save?
Sure.
Okay. You've had one hell of a morning so far. Between the adrenaline-infused breakfast exercise with the Blue Dragon, and then making your way back to a city that you have been panicked to see again, only to get quite the unexpected vista as you crested the hill, including some news about your mom, a meeting with Dad, a dagger to your back. But this fierce, like, stubborn streak within you, it still has you firing on all pistons, so you're good.
All right. Well, how long of a rest? Do you need a long rest, Will? Or
Will, I mean, Will's definitely hurting.
I know he's hurting, but
You can use
We
your
can
dice on
take
a
a-
short rest.
yeah, we can
Yes.
take a
I
short
could.
rest.
Oh yeah, I could take a short rest and do some dice.
My idea is that you and me can go scout out a path into the inner city while they take a long rest.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great. That's great. I could do some quick heals. With either. Let's see. What do I still have available to me? Because I can do some healing myself.
I don't think Lucky's hurt at all, so he could probably come
No,
with
Lucky's
us.
hurt.
Lucky's hurt? No,
Like
he gets
half
fucking
health.
lightning breath.
Look at the party sheet, man.
Yeah, fill up
Fuck,
your combat
It's
tracker.
a party.
He's
Yeah,
at 77
or
before.
you could ask me, because I mean it's basically
Yeah,
Lucky
on
Lucky's-
on your basic perception roll, like that's the most of Lucky you have ever
So
seen
if-
exposed.
So if they're going to take a long rest anyways, then I might as well just go ahead and use something. Tony might as well just do some heals on this. So is it just who else needs some heals?
We can do a short rest, and I can burn hit dice. That's not a big deal. Say I've only used one.
It's
first
short
level
rest is
spell
going to give her
and
back her
2
spell
third level
slots, though,
spells.
right?
No.
No.
Yeah, if you're looking to gain spell slots back, anyone besides wait, Lucky, you've got the weird arcane thing where you can do arcane recovery, right?
Okay.
got that, and also I've got a Pearl of Power, so I can recover a 3rd level or lower spell just by using that.
Okay.
So I've used 2 third and 1 first, so I've got a 4th,
Okay.
all my 2nd, 1 third. Technically, I can get 2
So-
third.
So does everyone need to take a long rest to regain their spell slots? Or is it a short rest?
It's a long rest.
Unless you're a
Okay.
warlock.
So so Tony is a healer. So is the plan that so I guess what's the plan here? Will and we're gonna go.
I know some paths that we can
Okay.
go back.
So if you and I heal up now, we'll go do some scouting, and everyone else will just do a long rest. Correct?
Hmm.
That's the plan.
Yes.
That's
So if
8
everyone
hours.
else- Yeah. So if everyone else does a long rest, then Tony can burn some of her spell slots to do some healing on Flint and Will, and then she can regain those spell slots during the long rest. Again, assuming everything goes somewhat smoothly.
Oh yeah.
So
Sounds like a
let
good
me
idea to me.
so let me see what she can do. Who's hurt more? Flint's at 18, Will's at 21 damage done. So
I think I technically have less health than you total.
you do have less health. You have 6 less health than me. So you still have a little more damage in general than I do. So she has 1 level 4 slot left. So she's going to try and heal you. Let's see. Let me select Tony. So
Is there a
Tony-
way I can hide party member HP totals from each other?
Yes.
Man, lucky you're not hurt. Check the damage tracker. God, can I hide the damage tracker?
Well, no, I mean,
Not the
so
tracker.
All right. This is for
you should be able to have a general sense of how well they're doing,
Yeah, you
but
can change
like
it to
this whole
just,
like I
uh,
have 2 more HP than you do is bullshit.
All right, hey Flint. By the way, look at that. Look, I rolled a 26, so you're healed.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you
Yep,
can change it to
you're-
where we just see the same thing like creatures, like it's
It'll say, like,
damage,
heavy.
weak, critical.
Yeah, wounded. Yeah. And then for Will,
There we go.
targets Will. Why is Will targeting Flint?
Sexy.
Let's see. She
I
could
knew
do
you were the
second level.
backstabber all along.
Dun dun dun.
8. Okay. That didn't automatically apply to me though. So let me go ahead and.
Yeah.
Oh no, it
His
did.
health is still unchanged as far as I can see.
In the combat tracker, it's not changing,
Yeah.
but on my sheet it is.
I think
The
you
second
got
one.
that.
2. She'll go ahead and just do the last one. Boom. All right, so she burned all of those. Okay, so now she needs the long rest. Cool. All right, so Will is good to go. Will feels great.
I feel pretty good myself.
All right, so let's do a little bit of scouting.
Oh, hold up. I have another thing I can do for you guys.
Ooh, I like
I'm actually gonna.
Oh,
I'm gonna
and
cast.
of
gonna
course, I'm
hold-
going to bring apples with me.
Blaskin's gonna hold his hand out, like in front of him, not like open palm. It's gonna hold it out with his hand facing down, and he's gonna cast Good Berry and grow 10 berries out of his hand. And he's gonna hand them to you guys. Be like, just
Reaches
if
down
things
for
are looking
Monday.
bad. Yeah, if you're looking bad, just have some of these. They're gonna help you. Don't go die.
So I guess we'll each take 5 good berries then.
Yeah.
Sounds
Cool.
good to me, Chief.
How does that one
Remember
play out?
that whenever you eat these, you're eating a part of me.
Eating his berries for Monday.
My God.
Yeah.
How much health does each good berry give you?
One.
Can I just shove all 5 of them in my mouth at once?
Yeah, you can. They also provide like enough food and water sustenance for the entire day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Good Berry's actually really good.
So you'll get back 5 hit points and then have to take the biggest relief of your life
It's like
later.
an equivalent amount of shit.
It's gonna be a massive shit.
God
All right.
damn it.
And then, so the owl apples. Obviously, I'm gonna be like, all right, and apples can like fly over us, and he can do like some recon. Keep an eye on us. Because at this point, Will still doesn't know that owl or that the owl is lucky.
Yeah, he's just an owl.
Familiar.
No, he's totally your trained pet. What?
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part, that's how it will always play out, unless
Yeah.
there's something where it can't.
This is how Will's brain finally breaks, like 3 months into the campaign. It's like, no, he's been mine the whole time.
Did you turn my pet into your familiar?
Blaskin, quick, become my owl. It's like, I can't. I don't want to fly.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and unless I'm controlling him or needing to work into it or doing something specific, I tell it just to like accompany Will, do whatever he says, help him out, give warnings, whatever.
Okay. Where did... Sorry, guys. I just lost track of something that I kind of needed.
I actually never thought about using a good berry as essentially a portable healing potion, though.
Well, you can do, if you time it right, before whatever healing or slots you have open at the end of the day, blow them all on good berries because they last 24 hours. So if you do it right before you go to bed, then you can get a pile of them if you have spell slots.
Does everybody want a good berry pie? I bet that shit's delish.
Oh, there it is. That's why I couldn't find it. Oh, folder.
Man, you make like a good berry pie and people would be tripping over themselves to buy that. Literally heals their wounds.
One bite and you're stuffed for a week.
Yeah. Just to make it clear, you're not stuffed. It is a berry. It just provides nourishment. It doesn't like make your belly explode if you eat a handful of it.
Doesn't say it doesn't either.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, cool. Guess what? We were gonna run to the final boss. I'm just gonna fucking jam a bunch of good berries into his mouth.
Oh, no!
Eat up, fucker.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
It's the Blaskin Greenheart special.
Jesus. You've coined it and it hasn't even happened yet. Whoops, that's the wrong window. Nope, that's still the wrong one. What am I looking for? That one. All right. Drop that in there. There we go.
Suck on my good berries.
Oh my god.
I'm just hearing the Chocolate Salty Balls song now.
Okay, children.
So, we have, after Tony has uncharacteristically put so much healing effort into Will,
Uncharacteristically. We're all shocked.
we have Will and Flint on a scouting mission.
Yes.
And-
while we're on said scouting mission, by the way, will expend another level 2 spell slot to cast Pass Without Trace on himself and Flint.
Okay.
So now that only lasts up to an hour.
Mhm.
So again, I'm gonna wait until we actually get on the move. But
Of course.
I will do that since we're obviously trying to. I feel like once we've gotten a feel after the first hour for what the situation is, then we'll obviously be better prepared for further
Shenanigans.
avoidance. Yeah, this just gives us a little bit of help right in the beginning if anyone heard all the noise.
Right. So you wouldn't cast it and then hold on, let me go do my taxes here on my phone. It's just a minute. Okay, hold on, it's not connecting.
Exactly. So as soon as
Yeah.
we walk out the door, I cast it. Yeah, no, I just don't file for taxes. That's my secret.
Man, you know tax evasion is the 9th level spell, right?
Listen,
Oh, no.
I don't know if you knew this, but I don't actually have stable income. I don't have a job. This is just what I.
thought you were going to say you weren't a citizen, so you haven't paid taxes.
Actually, that's technically true. I'm not
nice.
a citizen of Grimspire. Actually, well, technically, I was born a citizen of the whole kingdom. So, oh shit! Does that mean I have like a shitload of back taxes to pay?
I don't know. Did
No,
you
you're
live?
the king. They pay them to you, right?
You haven't been making income in their kingdom. You're
Well,
fine.
but the thing is that my father was the king. I'm the prince. So I was never. I was technically never like. I was never kinged.
I mean, it depends. Do you have a social security card?
You know, my mom might still have it.
This is actually the kind of fourth wall breaking that is absolutely right up my alley. Everything that has been said in the last 5 minutes is glorious to me.
I'll have to call my mom after this. Hey, Mom, do you still have my social security card? Also, do you have my birth certificate?
Son, we haven't spoken in like 26 years.
Listen, Mom, I know I'm sorry, but I need an answer now, please.
No, I thought you were dead. I threw him out.
Oh.
You know, that quarantine spring cleaning. All right. So the group staying in the temple, as I completely segue away from that.
It was beautiful.
Lucky, Tony, and Blaskin. What's the plan there?
Let's chill out.
I'm gonna go get into a corner. I'm gonna go get into a corner, and I'm gonna sit down, and I'm just gonna hang my head, and my blue eyes shut off as I go into a just turn on sleep mode.
You just hear the
Technically, I can
windows
still
closing
see.
noise from like 95.
Somebody's like, "Hey, Blaskin, can you?"
Like
No.
C3PO. I'm gonna power down for a few
Blaskin? Blaskin?
For the record, I technically don't sleep because robot. I just turn my eyes off for dramatic effect.
V dramatic. Before we leave the temple, I am definitely gonna do some praying. Just a quick, 4, 5, 6, 8 hour prayer.
Good. We got past the trace on. Okay, here. Hold on. Let me kneel.
Every time he gets annoyed, comes up and asks, "I was like, how much longer is this prayer gonna take? Just a little bit, just a little bit." Like
About-
7 hours later, all right, I'm done.
Like you do your kids. Well, the more you keep interrupting me, the longer it's gonna take.
Oh no. Oh no. Too many things I'm clicking on, typing to. There we go. Nope. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. All right. Oh, don't mind me. I thought you guys were still talking.
Oh, I mean, I need to pray.
Okay, so yes, you're before you head out. I assume so. Then Lucky's setting up the ritual for Lehman's tiny hut.
Yep.
I didn't catch that.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. What? No, closed. Ah! It's okay, guys. I'm not actually breaking the server. Promise.
You promise?
I promise.
And then Fantasy Grounds is gone forever.
What the?
No one knows what Brandon did. Not even Brandon, but it's gone.
Hold on. Sorry, I got something happening here. I'll be right back.
And
Okay.
they had to use Roll20, the real big BBEG.
Nope.
No.
Alright, I'm gonna go get a glass of water real quick.
Yeah. I got.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back now, y'all. No. Spam mail. God damn it.
Dad, nabbit.
God, I'm fucking going through my spam to see if fucking emails hidden from me. Who's hiding email from the fuck? What are you... God, there's so many fucking junk emails. Like, Jesus Christ. All right, whatever.
Don't you whatever me.
Oops.
Yeah, my favorite kind of fourth wall stuff is stuff that doesn't like technically break the canon. Like maybe they do pay taxes here.
Yeah, taxes always exist in
Yeah.
some way. You can never escape taxes.
Not with that attitude.
Because there were definitely times in like the Adventure Zone where the fourth wall was completely torn down, and I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of that. It's
I
funny.
mean, it was funny, but yeah,
There were times when they were like, they looked at Barry Blue Jeans and they were like, "Are you Tom Arnold?" And I was like,
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh, good. You can't hear me. Sure. Flint, are you praying for anything in particular?
Absolutely. Lots of guidance and to protect the innocent people on the path that I may walk in the future, and not squash them with my hammer, thinking they're doppeldads or something weird like that.
Dad.
That's so weird. I don't know where you would get that idea.
Yeah, weird.
I prefer the term copy papa.
But also
God damn it.
guidance to and protection to the center of the town, which seems to be very guarded right now.
Okay. Roll me a religion check.
Oh god, my weakness.
You found your weakness in religion checks.
That's the joke. Flint feels a gap, a bizarre silence in the divine ether that he's not used to. Usually, prayer for Flint has always involved kind of a resonance with, like a feeling like he's in tune with the deity that he reaches out to. It's not like you get a text back like, "Yo, Flint, yeah, I got your message." But it's always, there's always just been kind of a, you get that warm fuzzy feeling that like, yes, you're reaching out to something that is like interested in you. This is kind of a cold, empty silence when you try. So
Oh,
as a means to kind of feel better about the path you're undertaking, personally, okay, it's like a good practice to go through, but it's like an unsettling nothing suddenly when you kind of sit in expectation for a while.
oh. Well, alrighty then.
3 hours later. No, you and Will then head out.
Yep.
And Lucky, are you just setting up the hut
Yeah,
for
so
the trio
is-
there?
Yeah, sitting there. I'll study the body if there's anything, or we know for sure it was a doppelganger, and like I know what that is.
Yeah, that was, I think, your specific role.
Okay.
So
Is there
you've
any
got the
pieces that arcane wise that can be used taken from these for spells or anything? Magic
you've roll me a what would that be? Roll me a general intelligence check real quick.
Our group's weakness.
Not mine.
Listen, Will is not rolling for intelligence, that's for sure.
So you haven't heard of pieces necessarily, like the stuff you guys harvested off the dragon. That's like almost canonical. Like, oh sweet, I can use fangs for this, and someone else is looking for teeth or claws and different things. You haven't heard of people harvesting specific parts from doppelgangers. One, because they're usually incredibly rare to find in the first place. But two, the one use you have run across before, more like arcane trivia than anything actually applicable to anybody's daily life. Alchemists have been trying to kind of distill down the mutational aspect, the chameleon nature of the doppelganger's like innate abilities. So they've taken to like rendering down the tissue, but that would require like half or more of the body itself. So if you had
Something I
a
can
cart,
start doing to render it down, like, is it just like melting the fat and stuff like that, or
it's not something I think you have the equipment to do on the road. You would need like a good alchemist lab because it's a multi-stage process.
I'll jot stuff down for future notes on what I know and what I've found of this one and just stuff like that.
So basically, at this particular moment, it doesn't feel very opportune because like, hey, somebody could use this, but I would basically need to cart the whole dude over to the lab. But there is some promising work from a couple folks in creating kind of what would you say, like a bottled polymorph effect, so to speak.
I believe they call it a polyjuice potion.
Not in this universe, they don't.
Okay, that's fair.
Gonna Vada Kedavra your ass.
Not in my Dungeons and Dragons.
Magic ain't from around here, is it, boy?
Awesome. So Lucky's setting up a nice, convenient, I'm assuming somewhat matching camouflage dome to where you guys are you just like dropping it in the main vestibule? Are you picking like a back room? Like, what's the approach
Someplace
here?
that's going to be inconspicuous and easy to defend, should we need to.
Okay. The best spot would probably be back in the storage room where Flint first ran into his buddy.
His best friend.
It's deeper into the building itself and doesn't really have any windows, so to speak. So you feel like that's the most secure spot to then decide to take a morning sleep. Or, just siesta for 8 hours. You guys don't have to fall asleep. It's okay.
Light activity.
Coloring books, journaling.
God damn
Okay.
it. Oh, you said that, and all I can imagine is Blaskin on the floor with his little diary. He's like, "Dear diary." He's kicking his little feet in the air.
Polymorphs
No,
into
no.
like a little half like seal flipper leg so he can flap them.
Yeah.
Blaskin sat down against the wall, and somebody was talking to him. Hey, Blaskin, are you gonna?
Nice. Nice. Take extra experience, Brandon.
Too bad it's no use. So, Will and Flint, what are you guys up to?
We're gonna check out a couple of those paths to the inner city that might be a little hidden, or if those don't work out, maybe figure out a whole other way in there. Maybe a little.
Maybe a little power drilling.
Yeah. We brought our power drill. It's taking a nap right now.
Yep. I had to put it on the charger. The battery was dead.
It's okay. I cast pass without a trace. Jackhammer.
Well, funny enough, I actually have something for that. Believe it or not.
We'll just have to not call the Payday 2 gang about their drills.
Oh man, I've been wanting to get back into that.
Anyway,
Steam just reminded me about it.
Oh god.
So you're starting. You're coming from the north end of the outer city. The mountain entrance itself is to the northwest, as is kind of in a larger sense, the general peak of Karak Badin. But that's a whole lot of territory. So like the village shape that you guys have been running around in there just sits on like a flat plateau at the base of a very singular peak that's the end of the mountain range. The peak itself and then the rocky exterior is, hundreds of yards around in general. So it's more or less a giant northwestern wall from your perspective. But let's see, you rolled. Oh yeah. Of one alternate path that came to mind, which is kind of skirting around to the south of the peak itself, taking a kind of southern ridge trail up closer to about a third of the way down from the summit. There is an access door that's been, obscured, that was created when the vents were first being cut for the larger interior spaces, both for the smithies and the mines, and then is like the large open concourse that you're familiar with in the city. So that, aside from the front door, that's the only other option that you're currently considering.
Okay. Well, let's head on over there. Bar.
So the trek, on a good day, you would wager that's going to take you 4 or 5 hours to get to the doorway. So I'm not sure what your plan was for, are you guys out on your own? Did you just want to do like a brief scout a little ways ahead, or, because let me put it this way, if you went to the door and back, that'd be longer easily than the long rest they're taking in the temple.
I mean,
I can leave them a note to meet us if we're on our way back. It's not like we're not going to come back, right?
Well, I can always tell.
No, you're
I can
fine.
always-
Good berry.
We can always give. We can. Here's the thing. We can give a note to apples, and apples will fly back and deliver it to them.
That's right. We've got that thing.
Yeah.
That guy. Person.
We've got apples.
Yes. Without a towel.
You've been holding on to that one for a while, haven't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Even when you can't have apples, you still have apples.
I still have apples. Listen, I couldn't eat the apples. That doesn't mean I can't still have apples.
does this mean you're incapable of eating the owl in an emergency?
Yes. I cannot eat apples in any case. Apples is a gift to me from Saloon herself.
In a faraway, abandoned cityscape, an old woman is just kind of twitching violently. Okay, cool. I want you both to give me a stealth roll.
All right, added. Does that give us a? Hang on.
No,
That
it's
gives
plus
us
10.
advantage, right? Oh, no, you're right. It is plus 10.
With my
So you can just type 10 into the modifier if you want, or
10, and then roll. You said stealth check.
uh-huh.
Cool.
He casts a spell. What does it do?
I rolled a 2 and I got a 19.
I think I have it on.
We'll find out.
I
Oh, you got
in his
advantage.
Defense, I wanted to cast.
Oh no,
Plants
you
the other
got disadvantage.
session,
Yeah.
and it turns out plants are fucking stupid, and only remember things for one day.
Will and I are just as stealthy.
You find a small shrubbery next to the temple. Hey man, I don't know anything that's been going on here, man. Are you like made of metal, man? That's weird, man.
That's
Right, the Cheech
wild.
and Chong bush.
What, you never heard of steel wool?
Far out, man. We'll continue this if we ever actually talk to a bush. So, wow, you guys ended up with the same stealth roll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
By the way, just another quick question: Am I rolling this stealth check in an attempt to hide from people's sight?
Well, I mean,
what-
you're
am I-
casting
am I
Pass
trying to
Without a
hide
Trace.
in
I
general?
assume you're trying to move stealthily.
Yes. Well, I wanted to ask because my Cloak of Elven Kind gives me advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide. So if I'm hiding either my sound or my person from view, then technically would I not get advantage on that roll?
Hold
anyway?
up. I thought that worked in the opposite direction, where it gave people trying to
No.
detect you disadvantage.
I've got two things. It gives me disadvantage for wisdom perception checks against me, and I have advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide. Because the cloak's color shifts to camouflage me.
Shadow camouflage.
That seems like redundant. Oh, no. Okay, so basically the perception check disadvantage thing is a always on feature. You don't have to be actively trying to hide.
Yes. The stealth
Alright,
is
so
yeah, I turn the stealth on. So technically would I not get advantage on that roll?
yeah, you want to see if you can roll higher than a 2?
Yeah.
Hey, no, you don't get 2 more
I'm
rolls.
sorry, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Give me the lower one. Give me the lower one. Give me the 10. So it's a 27.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I forgot to. I hit advantage when I was like, oh wait, I didn't mean to do that.
Triple stealth advantage, go!
My God.
The GM's like, okay, your 2
All right.
is fine.
It's Jason Bourne.
Listen, I know the 2 is fine, but I'd like to point out I could have got a 20.
My movement, it's imperceptible.
The whole time that we're walking, Will is eating chips very slowly.
He's just skating across the ground.
He hovers, playing the drums and eating chips, and somehow no noise is escaping his person. Okay, so Flint is doing a pretty good job of like keeping his armor tight, so that he doesn't jingle jangle across the open concourse
Not
there.
have spurs.
What's that?
You said jingle jangle, and I was like, he does not have spurs.
Sorry, he does have chainmail.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
And Will, you're doing your standard stalker
Naruto
thing.
run.
Yeah, just like I'm
God
I'm moving through the woods, kind of. Obviously, I'm not in woods, but my usual like I'm moving through the forest, just listening to all the sounds, noticing all the flora and the fauna.
I am the forest.
And keeping
Yeah,
a lookout for a
the-
mossy rock.
I am keeping a lookout for a mossy rock, by the way. Just
Well,
to-
the terrain you're moving through first is urban. As you cross the town again
listen, there could be
um,
moss. I mean, there's lots
sure.
of water in an urban environment.
to reach the southern side of the peak. Yeah, so that's going to be fine as far as making it through town without really picking up any attention. It's a combination of being stealthy and just kind of trying not to look conspicuous. Like you pass by a couple folks within like a couple feet of them because you come around the corner and it's just more of a quick awkward like, oh sorry, wasn't trying to bump into you, and you get kind of a similar reaction. This time they don't have a sword in your back, so
Imagine that.
yeah, so you make it out of town and kind of it's still fairly barren as far as like greenery goes, just because of the highland nature of the area. You're on the lower slopes of a peak, so I would say you make it probably. Well, it's about a half hour's trek to where Flint knows the trail picks up itself.
There's a trail that leads to it, right?
Yeah, it's not like there aren't signs out like, oh, the trail to the peak. It's just it's worn enough that you have a couple different like visual indicators of the path you're traveling. You recognize a couple landmarks, some stone cairns that have been set up.
Well, I'll look over at Will once we get outside of the majority of the view of the city, and I'll look over him and ask him. We could speed this up, and I'll tell him that I have find steed. That's what it's called, right? Spells. Find steed. Yes. I could cast Find Steed, and for at least 10 minutes we could move much faster.
Hey, I mean, 10 minutes could the distance we cover in 10 minutes could be much greater than what we could cover in 30 minutes. Let's do it.
Now I have to look at this. It feels very.
Well, I mean, we're probably going to take a war horse because I don't need a pony, a camel, an elk, or a mastiff. So
You can take an elk and you're choosing to take a horse?
you bet your goddamn ass I am.
I am so I've never been more disappointed in you than I am right now.
I'm gonna be honest. Will kind of obviously, if you don't tell Will about the elk, he doesn't actually feel this way. But if you do tell him about the elk, he's a little bummed you don't pick the elk.
I'm just assuming that a war horse might move faster than an
Well,
elk.
I think
I can't prove this.
I can't prove that.
you're probably right.
Hey, Mr. Paladin, your spell lasts as long as the horse is still alive. It takes 10 minutes to cast.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like, why do you get a 10-minute horse? I don't get it.
Right.
So-
I misread that then.
So while he casts that, I have a question, Brandon. Pass without trace. The exact words are so it's concentration up to an hour. So a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companion from detection. For the duration, each creature I choose within 30 feet, including myself, has a plus 10 bonus to dexterity. So since it's during the duration, it sounds to me like I can choose other creatures to mask during the duration for the hour. So could I then include the horse as well? Could the horse get a plus 10 bonus to stealth checks?
See, like in the cartoons where it like tiptoes from tree to tree.
All I do is I spray paint, not a horse on the side of the horse.
By the way, I just checked. Warhorse is the fastest moving of all the monsters in that category.
I was gonna say it would make sense.
Now, see, that's when you get an elk and then you write horse on the side of it.
Yeah!
What's it with you fuckers and elks?
Because it's so much cooler than a horse!
Look, I've seen this in a couple movies, sir. Okay, yeah, you can certainly include your mount.
Cool.
So hold on, you get to summon one mount,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, I mean, I figured I'm a dwarf and he is a slender goofball, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's his actual race, by the way.
Yes.
Slender goofball.
Yeah, my father was Slender Man.
I figured
Oh,
our
God.
combined weight isn't ridiculous enough to.
Well, yeah, it's like in The Lord of the Rings. Gimli and Legolas often ride together on the same horse.
And then they kiss.
They do,
I
eventually.
don't remember that part in the books.
That's
was
a
in
modern
the
JW version.
It was cut.
You had to read the canon material online after.
That's the new diverse casting.
Oh.
It's Tolkien back from the dead pulling a J.K. Rowling on us.
Oh no!
Okay, so that's effectively going to increase your speed to double what you have been covering.
Yes, excellent. Excellent.
I would have known you guys were going to do that. I could have just conjured you some fucking horses.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Go back to
No,
sleep.
you conjured them
dumb
some
robot.
good berries.
I would have conjured them some elks.
Yeah, right in the middle of town.
Yeah, that's right!
It's okay, I just cast Shutdown again.
Where's green?
So cool. You guys are outside of town. Flint then prays for a warhorse, who.
I can pray for a horse, but I can't pray for guidance, apparently. That's illegal.
This one's a little more practiced.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
And kind of a whitish glow starts to just kind of fade in front of Flint, right there at the head of the trail that he's pointed out to you. And your tracking experience and in general wilderness knowledge, you're like, oh yeah, I can totally see it now that you told me where it is. But the glow just kind of intensifies and then builds out into like a large blur in front of you that coalesces into a larger equine shape that has this funky, like, you know how some like horses have like the paint patterns with like a big sunburst on their forehead or something?
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like the Torog symbol, just right on his face.
Hell yeah. Excellent.
Alright,
Beautiful.
I'll give it to you. It's kind of metal.
But it seems completely docile towards you, Flint.
That's less metal.
Will gets not sub, just calm. Anyway, Will, you get a little bit of a side eye from it, but it doesn't seem to be.
I was gonna say,
Pulling back from you.
Will doesn't really understand, but he loves all of nature. And he just like he stares at it like eyes wide, like, you are the most beautiful creature I have yet to see.
I'm gonna need a restraining order.
I lean over to Flint. I say, Flint, can you teach me this? Am I able to learn this?
I'll maybe another time.
I don't know. Would a paladin miss a chance to convert someone to the worship of his god? Because this seems like an opportunity.
Listen, that's not what's important right now. All right. I have to make sure that my dad is my dad.
Yeah. So, if what I understand is, I need to ask Saloon for this.
I
Me.
twitch.
Yep. I say in front of Flint, completely oblivious to how upset he is about this, I say, "O mighty and graceful Saloon, please, I, your devout follower, grant upon me the ability to summon such an amazing beast."
I need a pony.
Fucking, the current one kicks you in the fucking teeth.
All right, I've said my prayer. Let's go.
Yeah, sorry, I'm over here coughing. I had to
You,
mute
you
myself.
get a dial tone.
Oh, it's okay. I left her a voicemail. She's only got a few thousand to check, so I'm sure she'll get to me soon.
You didn't even call it out. You didn't even call a number out. You just picked it up and started talking into the phone. She'll get back to me.
Yes, you blocked.
This is wow. That's weird. This is the 7th phone number I've gone through this month. She keeps blocking me.
I'm gonna have to talk to her about that.
Oh my god. No, you just get. Hey, the number you called has been disconnected.
I gotta fucking mute myself at a fucking time.
Oh my god.
Man, okay, I
Thank
just.
God we're recording
wow.
this.
I almost choked to death there on a pistachio.
How tragic that could have been.
You guys just would have been sitting there for 20 minutes continuing to make jokes. Like, is he coming back?
Saloon, my mighty and beautiful goddess, please do not allow Brandon to choke on his pistachio.
Click. Boo.
I hope this comes up later, like in canon. Like, Kayleen is just not a fan of you at all. She's like, oh shit, it's this guy. I told him he was my follower once. I didn't think he'd take it seriously.
It makes you live long enough to actually become something.
So, you guys now have a mount.
Yes, we do.
And I'm going to wager a guess that you hop on this mount
Yes,
and continue your
very
journey.
enthusiastically.
Will's just like 6-year-old on a go-kart. It's like, yeah. So it increases your speed a fair amount, about half hour up the trail. You haven't really hit the steeper portions of the path yet, and then what you do take in is you round the corner of a smaller rise, and you can see down into the southern vale below the peak itself, which jogs your memory, Flint, that there is a second way you could be trying to get into the peak as well. And that's through a kind of natural cavernous or cave river system that the city uses as its available like sewer outlet. But it happens to flow out to the south, stays underground, but there's kind of a sinkhole depression down in further into the southern vale that everyone lovingly refers to colloquially as Durmid's arsehole. Durmid being the current leader of the town. Due to its
Glorious.
rather access to some less than savory water sources.
I'll point it out to
Sounds
Will.
like
Be
it.
like, oh, there's third of its asshole. It's like without breaking pace or like. It's like that's what I expected to see when I rounded the corner. That's really what I wanted to show Will.
No, okay. So this
Beautiful. Wow.
it's the best tour you've ever been on. No, it's not.
Amazing.
It's not like right there. This is like
Right, no,
as
it's
you look
off.
down into the southern vale, you're
Yeah.
like, oh right, there's that other thing like out. So your trade-off is that's a longer route in general, but is not as close and as exposed, so to speak, as being up on the higher tiers of the peak itself.
Interesting. Well, let's go check out the not smelly death cave first.
Awesome. Who is keeping an eye out as this is a scouting trip? I would say who wants to be
apples.
helming the
Apples. Oh, yeah, okay. You mean between the two of us?
That
I mean,
would
I
be,
was.
guess.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, I've instructed Apples to like fly above and keep an eye out, and if he sees anything, he will signal us with a hoot, or he will. Basically, he'll be silent, and he'll give us a hoot if he sees anything. If we're in some serious danger, then he's to return to me. That way I can keep an eye on him.
Okay.
But if we're moving like Flint and I guess let's see, what's my perception? I have a decent perception, so
Yeah, probably better you than me.
my perception is 4 plus. Well, no, we both have dark vision, don't we?
Yeah, mine's
So that doesn't matter.
plus 0.
Okay. So then I guess I'll be the lookout in this case.
Yeah, I gotta steer the pony.
It's very stubborn.
Gotta
Takes a
make
lot
sure
of
it doesn't fall into Dern's asshole.
Yep.
Yep, that's a real big risk up here. Just falling all that way.
One slight misstep, and there you go.
Oh dear. Okay.
Excellent. I now know how to spell it.
Well, he does kind of run your town. I need to find the
Party
owl.
guy.
Party. There it is. Advantage. Okay. Okay. Meaning this. Where'd it go? Oh. Sorry, I've got too many
Here's
filters
thoughts
on my
the
different.
session so far. I'm gonna post it in Discord.
Right to jail.
Where'd you guys go? There it is. Oh, right. So you're. Nope. That's different. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Where'd it go? Okay. Now I gotta bring this back to whatever I was gonna be telling you. Okay, so you guys are heading up the trail, and you've got the owl out looking around as well. Will, do you want to roll me a perception check since Flint's busy guiding the horse.
Brandon, I would love to.
I don't like that enthusiasm.
Perception. Listen, I'm so enthusiastic. It's in the dice tower. I don't even know what I rolled.
Well, that was a D12. No, I'm kidding.
It's like the old Google. Are you feeling lucky?
Man, I do not want to do that with the internet anymore. Man. Okay. So the other roll that was plus. Okay. I've got like 12 windows open. Sorry, guys.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Oof. Oh, snap. Okay. Ignore me while I send a text real quick to... What the I don't even get the context, Scott. Now I'm trying to use Discord. Oh wait, I think there's a way.
Well, will is
Oh, there we
the
go.
truth. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh yeah. There's always a will.
Well, not necessarily always.
There's always a will. Yeah, we can't get rid of him.
Oh, okay. I'm getting a response from somewhere. So, Will and Flint, you continue riding along the path. By now, the pass without a trace. It's been more than an hour since you left.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to get up into the. You're above tree line now. Like it's the majority of the flora you see around you is like lichen on the rocks. It's a little windier up here.
Lichen on the rocks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I happen to see anything that that I might be able to like swing by, grab for Blaskin?
Maybe there's a little stone there it's growing on.
Yeah, maybe there's some.
like the whole mountain. Yeah, you can. I'm not even gonna make a roll for that one. You can find a couple different options. It's like a grayish orange lichen growing in patches.
No, it looks. I picked the most stunning rock that I can find. I will roll.
It's long and girthy.
I will roll
my
perception. Now I'm gonna roll perception to see what. Okay, yeah, as a 14, I guess I find an okay rock, right?
Yes.
I perceive.
Actually,
an
that
okay-
would I would say that would be investigation, technically.
Okay. Well, here, let me do that instead. Then I have a +0 in that. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
As far as rocks go.
Oh, there you go. 13.
Yeah, it's still not too bad.
You find it okay. Well, yeah, you feel free to add grayish orange lichen covered rock. Okay-ish.
Okay.
Okay-ish.
Okay-ish. Gray, orange. How's lichen spelled? Oh, it's. I know.
L-I-C-H-E-N.
Never mind. I remember. It's like lichen.
Oh, I made a terrible joke of my friend at work, Mitchell.
Okay, I'm ready.
My friend Mitchell the other day. I asked him if he was undead, if that would make him a joke,
Oh dear.
and I felt so dumb immediately.
Do they have any knowledge of the material you're trying to make a joke with?
I'm sure they know what a lich is.
Okay.
I don't know if they would know D&D explicitly or anything like that, but
Fair enough. As opposed to just the blank stare of,
what is a lich? Is that a curse? Do I need to report you to HR?
Did you just swear?
Do you want to lick me? What?
You're undead, would that make you a lichel?
You just get punched. So Will, as you've hopped off briefly, kind of waving off Flint's curious gaze to grab this stone, you notice a shadow pass overhead fairly quickly, and it's not the smallest shadow you've ever seen. As well as a brief downbeat of heavy wings.
Shit. Are there still any? Are there any trees or anything that we can use for cover?
Nah. You're
the last time this exact scenario happened, it was a fucking dragon.
All right. I race a horse and I say Flint. Faster.
I assume
Sure,
we're much
meaning
closer
I-
to
I
the.
draw my bow.
I assume we're closer to the woods than we are the cave, right?
You.
Or are you gonna tell me we're halfway between both of them and? be
No,
really
you.
cool about this?
You're only. I'm going to say you're only about 25% of the way up. not specifically, but in a guesstimate. 25% of the way up the trail in general. As I die. So what are you looking for as far as what are my options?
Well, I'm probably just gonna use the slight connection I have with the warhorse and tell it to fucking book it back into the forest.
Fly, you fool!
So are you looking to just completely 180 degrees
Oh yeah,
hoof it back down the hill?
Yeah.
Hot hoof it
To
on a
cover.
horse.
Okay.
I mean, I could try to make a perception check first, I suppose.
To do what?
See if I can see a large sky-dwelling monster.
Sure. With the warning that Will has just imparted into you.
Perception. Because it would be really unfortunate if I was like, hey, we need to go back down the mountain horse. And he's like, you got it! And then the dragon landed right behind me.
Well, we don't know it's a dragon. Just remember, you
All
guys
right.
don't know if it's dragon. You guys haven't seen it. I'm just I threw it
It
out
could
there.
be
but
a
the last
giant
time this
bat.
Literal exact scenario that Brandon described happened. It was a dragon.
Hold on, just changing some notes here. That sounds
Actually-
really good. I should remember that.
Oh shit.
Okay, so as you kind of pull back on the reins and do a scan of the area, No longer trying to focus on making sure the horse stays true to the path and doesn't fall off into somebody's unmentionably named caverns. You catch a glimpse of what looks like a hunting bird kind of pass behind a higher like outcropping of rock up the peak a bit. So you get just a bit of like feathered wingtip, dark brownish, mottled with gray, kind of passing then behind the stone from your perspective.
Interesting.
Yep.
I guess I won't tell my horse to do a suicidal run back down the hill as fast as he possibly can, but like almost that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seen. Like, we need to move faster.
Okay. Cool. So you guys, you make a fairly aggressive run back down the trail. It was a couple switchbacks that you already had to go through, so it's not just like breakneck speed to begin with. But as you come down one of the hairpin turns, Will, you said you had your bow drawn already?
I did.
You're keeping an eye out.
And an arrow knocked.
You're keeping an eye out as you guys keep moving, and coming around the corner on this part of the trail, you see a pair of wings kind of break the sky again, coming back around. It's like it almost circled the peak or some lesser summit to find another angle, and it's perspective's playing with you a bit here. You definitely see a bird, but it's the size of a bird you would expect to see much closer to you, but it's much farther away and gaining on you pretty quickly as the size starts to grow.
So how close are we to the tree line now?
You guys are still, I mean, you didn't have a whole lot of trees in the first place. It was more like getting back down into the busier lower slopes, so more rocks to hide behind, more just general change in cover.
How close to that are we?
You're still at the current speed that the horse is galloping, 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay. I wait for it to get close enough so that I can, if it does try to make for us, I'm gonna try and fire an arrow right between its eyes, or right into its eyes.
Okay.
And I will
try and make this a little bit easier.
And I will. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't make it. Oh, there it is.
So my goal is I guess technically what I'd be doing is holding an action in this case, even though we're not in combat. So what I would do is if it moves close enough, I will cast Ensnaring Strike on my arrow and then fire the arrow at the whatever the creature is to try and restrain it. To be fair, a large or larger creature does have advantage on the saving throw.
Yeah.
It's the best that I can do.
No, you're fine. So, Flint, you're give me a. Oh no, that's what actually. I don't want to screw you over here. More than I already have. Yeah, give me a. Since this is a divine mount, give me a religion check for your handling of the warhorse in its.
You got it, Daddy-O.
Flight. Okay. So no intense slip-ups or equine medicine scenarios.
Thank Torag.
You continue to drive it down the mountain as fast as you can. Will the bird does continue to approach. at a pretty quick pace.
Could I specifically? Could I even try and change my intention? I don't know if the spell works this way. It is a concentration spell, so would I be able to try and specifically target just like one part of the body to immobilize it? Like, let's say I hit the wing, and ensnaring strike just wrapped the wing up so that it couldn't fly anymore.
Starts charging you like a fucking chicken.
Yeah.
Let me look at the. What did you say it was? Ensnaring strike, right?
Ensnaring strike, yeah. So I mean,
Find
I
this.
think it would be more so a DM call than anything. It
Yeah.
doesn't really say anything about. It says it restrains the creature, so I assume the intent of the spell is to restrain the whole creature. But I don't know if my control over the spell would allow me to try
There's
and target a
wizard
specific
spell
part.
that would work for that.
You cut
I
out
missed
there,
that, brother.
I was just saying there's a wizard spell that would work for that. I forget the name of it, but it's basically it will ground a flying creature.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, see, and
Earthbind?
it is a conjuration type spell too, if that makes any
Well, if
difference.
it's restrained, it can't move, so it doesn't matter if it's
Yeah.
wrapped around the wing or not. It can't move.
Right. So built into the spell is that anything that is
Mhm.
a significant size is going to have advantage against this anyway.
Okay.
Because you're kind of reaching the limits of what the
Yeah.
spell can try and do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just play that one as it goes.
Okay.
Tell you what, give me. No, you've got enough lead time. Here, I'm gonna give it to you in the combat tracker so you can target it if you want to.
Okay.
And as the rather large bird continues to approach, you are able to line up a shot to attempt some ensnaring action.
All right. Then I will. Oops. Hang on. I don't want to target Flint or Will. There we go. All right. So I will cast ensnaring. Well, I guess first I need to actually hit it with the fucking bow.
Yeah, so you've got ensnaring strike on as an effect
Yes.
for the next minute.
Nope.
Okay, so
Oh, sh-
But so I waste the ensnaring strike.
no, it's the next time you hit.
Oh shit! You're right.
It's
well, I
like
also-
it's like Flint's smitey thing.
Oh shit! I also
First of all,
I,
how dare you
I have-
compare me to this?
I have extra attack, so I get to fire again. Okay. I hit it. I do some damage to it, and I guess now I cast ensnaring strike on it.
Yeah, so force it to make a strength save.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Or no, did I mean? I think I did click the right button.
Yeah,
Okay,
and it's
so-
saved.
It's okay, so it saves. So never mind then. Damn.
So no, you hit the target and you see like the this like bundle of vines start to blast out like in 5 or 6 different directions from the point of impact, which is kind of right to the side of its face, like into the shoulder of one of the wings, and they don't close around enough of its body, so it starts to grab a wing and a little bit of the torso and just. A couple like large flaps of its wings, and this thing's still getting bigger in your view as it gets closer to you,
Okay.
and they just kind of can't tighten enough to really make a difference.
Is it coming so fast that I'm not going to get another chance to fire any arrows at it?
You've got one more round.
Yeah. Then,
Basically, we're
On my round, I will, I'll, like, through my teeth.
Yeah.
Get rid of that thing, will you?
All right. Yeah. So Flint, are you gonna do anything else, or can you do anything
I'm
else?
gonna pony up.
Because it's technically your turn right now.
I mean, would you like me to command this creature?
Hey, you know
How
what?
about a
welcome to
smite?
give it a
I can
try.
cook you up a smite.
You know what?
What flavor would you like?
You know what? I'm feeling something smoky right now. Maybe some brisket.
Oh man, I remember the first time I used brisket smite.
He just starts coating his hammer in barbecue sauce. We're kind of in fight time here, so Flint, what's your call as you continue to
I'm
kind
gonna
of
cast
push the horse?
Shield of Faith on my warhorse. Giving
Cool.
it
What does that do?
2 more AC.
Okay. Yeah, let me drop your warhorse in
I figure the worst thing that happens is that the horse gets kind of stolen out from underneath of me, and we kind of roll down the hill into a stink pit and die. Worst possible outcome.
Gotcha. um, all right, and in addition, so
Well, I mean, if
It's
Will
got-
gets plucked off and the bird flies away, what am I gonna fucking do?
You're gonna come back and say the best case scenario happened.
we're gonna find out.
Well, shit, there he goes. I don't. Is that a concentration spell?
What did I say yesterday, Garrett? There goes my
Yes, it is.
hero.
Effect. There, it's on myself.
No, I've already cast it on the horse for you.
Well, I had to put the concentration on myself.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Warhorse.
Don't mind me, I'm just over here sticking around in the different windows. Okay, so you've cast that spell. You are also you're continuing to push its. Oops, I hid the combat tracker for myself. You're continuing to push its speed, so that's going to make an impact on how easy or hard it is to necessarily pluck off the trail there. So it's Warhorse's turn. It runs. Will, it comes back around to you as this thing is now. It's a bird, but it's about the size of the dragon you guys fought the earlier.
Yeah, so I just realized I still had some. I actually, funny enough, had some arrows from forever ago, +1 magic arrows that just give me a +1 bonus to my attack and damage.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to use that.
Okay.
That missed.
Wait. Oh yeah, arrow +1. Okay.
That one hits.
Hole.
Okay, and because it's already had damage done to it, I get to use Colossus Slayer, which is my feature.
Yep, go for it.
All right, and after that, there's not really anything else I can do.
Alrighty.
We're dead.
Will's going to switch to his swords now. Because bows are not his thing. Listen, I barely passed archery class, okay?
Got a D-.
Oh man.
I'm the Legolas over here.
So here, let me roll this. First, let me see what it ends up targeting. Oh shit. Oh, what's your AC? So a 15 just misses you, Will.
Lucky.
No, the first I had to roll to see which one it was going to try and hit, and the horse had more than 50% chance, but it still went for Will. Yeah, so in like an intimidating close swoop, It comes down to Harry, the trail, and you guys in particular, and the pair of talons just clasp, digging into your shoulder a bit, or the armor you're wearing on your shoulder, but just glancing, barely enough to miss you, Will. Shakes you in the saddle a bit, but you manage to hold on to Flint with all your might. Bro hug. And then it kind of... So if you consider, a train heading east from New Jersey and a train heading west from LA. No, so you guys are heading in the opposite direction of the bird, and you immediately start making distance between each other again as it kind of flies off and has to make another pass around. So I'm going to say just in that time, you get 4 or 5 rounds of just movement as it banks largely to try and come back around for another hunting pass.
Oh, it's not... Okay, never mind. I thought it was going to gonna dive and try to not grab us. I thought it was trying to do a pin thing where it was gonna dive down and try and slam into us. Okay.
No, its name in the combat tracker is a hunting rock.
That makes more sense.
Fly, they lay on the ground.
Okay, I guess we'll take his bow back out once it passes by.
Is it a mossy covered hunting rock?
This is what you were looking for the whole time.
Blaskin would love this.
Hey, Blaskin, I got you a rock. Catch.
I love it. I'm gonna snuggle it every night.
So you guys make it around a couple more bends in the trail before it does show back up in your view in the sky.
Okay.
And it does still seem focused on you. But I'd say...
Flint, do you want to try and find... it might have. Flint, do you want to find a more defensible position where we have a little more cover and stand and fight this thing, or do you want to keep running? Did we lose Flint?
Flint!
Aaron.
Crap, the bird got him.
I knew it.
You turn back around, he's not actually there.
My mic slipped out 2 centimeters. Anyway, so
That's what she said.
Wasn't the
Doesn't
path
show when that
at the
happens.
bottom of or around the edge a wooded path?
Sorry, ask that again?
Was there a wooded path nearby that wasn't a stink pit?
That's far off. That is a specific, sinkhole location. There's a lot of nature between you and that.
Exactly.
No, so you can... there's either... before you try and head in that direction anyway, you could, veer down the hill, just, abandon the trail in general, and try and make for the greener vale area that has, some low-lying greenery, shrubs, some larger, copse of not necessarily tall standing trees, but the kind that bend over and find small sources of water. Think a willow or something, yeah.
Sure.
Or there's just in general, if you continue the trail further down its intended path, there's more crags and different things that you could potentially hide in or squeeze yourself in between so that something this large couldn't even get to you. So are you basically off-road it or just push faster and try and get to a more secure location?
I don't know how much more pushing we can do. We're not exactly close to anywhere. So... guess we can diverge from the path and just get to the nearest safe space.
Okay. It's a bit of a scree slope off to the side, so more loose rock. Roll me one more religion check for your animal handling.
You just want me to fall over, don't you?
I mean, I know I
Or,
do.
or show off your dice rolling skills. In a 6 fast, 6 furious moment of warhorse driving, you pull hard to the left on the reins, and it just like the same gallop that's going down the trail just flies over just rubble, loose rock. It's like every step it takes, not only does it find purchase, but then everything underneath its hooves also slides. So you're kind of getting this double speed effect. Good old gravity. It's almost like you're running on top of a rock slide. It's crazy. It would be very metal if people would say that in this age. Will, that like completely takes you by surprise because you're busy watching the sky and see where this bird's coming from, and then just like 90-degree left turn, go. But you guys now make for some incredibly fast.
Describe that for a second there, Brandon. Made it sound like he didn't even turn. He just started strafing left at 90 degrees.
Yes, this is
The horse
total
is,
like
facing straight forward and then just goes left.
it's like glitch in the video game kind of stuff. It's like the dead body is there and still sliding along the ground.
Skyrim horse time.
But yeah, you make really good time down the hill now, and kind of which completely removes like the hunting or the strafing angle that the bird was going to come back at you on if you were to stay on the trail. So it kind of has to make another wide pass as you divert to the left. So you are within like a round or two, kind of down into some simpler brush areas, more like grassy slopes. Still like mostly rocky terrain, but it's, you know, less gray, more green. But there are definitely opportunities if you want to look around for a place to try and conceal yourselves or come up with some other tactic.
So, do we still? At this point, is our goal still to get back up the hill and to get to this cave? I assume.
Out of
Flint
this
told
asshole's
me.
going to be between us and the cave.
Well, so should we? Well, here's the thing though. If we stay here and we try to trap it, if we try to get its attention, bring it down here, and we get a chance to actually fight it, then we could kill it. We could carry on, or we can wait for it to leave, and then we can go back to the others.
I think we need to wait for it to leave.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
Flint is not a fan of this large, unfriendly rook.
Then let's look for a space.
Space.
Okay. Crap. I can never tell if I'm opening a window or closing a window. It's gonna make this game real hard on me, isn't it? Will, I will. If you want to make either a nature or survival check, this being more your natural skill set, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or habitual skill set.
Forest and mountain. So if we're in mountainous terrain, then I guess this is my natural.
What does that do again? Is it a bonus or is it advantage?
So the things that I get, the benefits I get are difficult terrain doesn't slow my group's travel. We can't become lost except by magical means. Even when we're engaged in another activity such as foraging, navigating, or tracking, I remain alert to danger. Now, if I'm traveling alone, I can move stealthily at a normal pace. When you forage, find twice as much food. And when tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area. So it does say when you make an intelligence or wisdom check related to your favorite terrain, your proficiency bonus is doubled if you're using a skill that you're proficient in.
Oh, okay.
So I am proficient in, what did you say I'd be using? Either survival or nature?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my bonus is 4. for survival.
That's your skill bonus. So I think you just add your proficiency modifier again
Which is,
after you roll.
What is that? Is that
You're at
three?
+3 right now.
+3. Okay, so let me add 3 and roll for survival. Damn, that was so close to a fucking 16. And I just barely rolled over to a fucking 6.
I'm like, wait, that isn't close. Well, I guess it's relatively close to a 16.
Yeah. Well, I actually I watched the dice roll. It almost stopped.
You do spot a kind of shadowed open space, kind of tucked between one short tree and then like a pile of boulders that seems to be like, okay, if we can just stick in there and then somehow think like a rock, R-O-C-K, not R-O-C, it'll probably be hard to see us. But that's your best
Okay.
option that you see in this moment.
Yeah, no, I point it out and I say, that over there looks like the best spot.
And I'm gonna believe him blindly without double checking anything.
That's what religion's all about, man. So you push the warhorse over there. It's just kind of a damp, muddy spot between a small pair of trees that look like they're twisting into the same one, and then a couple stones. You've got just... Sorry, losing the train of thought on the sentence I was trying to put together. You wager you've got about one more round's worth of actions to take to try and improve your camouflaging, if necessary, before it gets like line of sight on the location you picked.
Okay. I would like to I would like to do something a little interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I have in my possession a dagger of silence, which when I throw it has 2 charges on it. When I throw it, I can use a charge to expand a 15-foot radius sphere of silence that stays centered on the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would like to do is I would like to throw that dagger straight into the ground below us. Expend 1 charge to create a 15-foot radius sphere around us. And I would like to take a rock and hurl it as far as I can away from us.
Okay. I love the concept. I also love that it's in broad daylight.
Well, but here's the thing. You said that we have a turn before it catches its like sight on us again. So my plan is throw it down, throw the rock, and then just like hunker down and hope that the sound distracts it long enough to buy us more time. I don't think this is going to be permanent. I just want to buy us more time.
No, cool. So, Flint, you hear Will digging around in his pack real quick, throws a dagger into the ground, and all of a sudden you hear nothing. I mean, it's just like completely silent around you. To like it's almost like the silence is deafening kind of thing.
Okay.
And he picks up a rock silently. It's about skull size, to be morbid, and chucks it kind of across the depression that you guys are on one side of, and it just kind of clatters across a series of flat stones. Will, go ahead and give me a deception check.
All right. Man, I have no idea what charisma has to do with this, but let's do it anyways.
Well, now, that's just the base skill. Technically, you can use, like, a deception dexterity skill. Like, you're trying to hit a tree or a rock to make a sound. You could technically use your dex bonus for that, too.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, if you,
So what would...
if you can justify it like you're using a skill.
What was your
Well, my dex bonus is a +4, so that only add 3 more. So I'd be
Okay.
at 6 total.
And then, Flint, is there anything you were going to try to do?
I mean, I have paladin skills, so
Yeah.
Gonna pray we make it out of here alive.
I mean, technically, since I'm doing this in the name of stealth, could I not roll for stealth?
Well, I mean, that your stealth modifier is still just a little bit higher.
Yeah, but I'm actually proficient in it.
Oh, that's why it's higher. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not
So that
proficient
would-
in any sort of deception.
But you're
Sure,
trying
I'll-
to distract it with the sound, so it's being deceptive.
Yeah. But I'm also I'm trying to be stealthy about it. Like that's kind of the whole point is for us to be stealthy.
No, yeah, I'll give you that. So you rolled a 9 instead of a 3. So Flint's just doing his best impression of something that can't be seen.
he's gonna pull out his maul and get in a nice swinging to be done sort of. Gotta make sure there's enough room for me to clobber this thing in the nose if it shoves its face in here.
Yep. I guess at that point there's nothing left to do but to draw our weapons and silently wait to see.
I actually have to work early tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna take off right now.
Okay.
Alright.
Have a good night, man.
Okay,
Bye, Scott.
take care.
Night.
Good night.
Good night. Blaskin is rebooting.
Putting down for the evening.
So that's going to be its perception check against that. So everyone's efforts have created a DC that I need to then try and beat with a large bird.
Yes.
I imagine you just picking it up off the table and just whapping it behind your DM screen. Like in the Monty Python skit.
It is an X-parrot.
It has gone and moved on to the other side.
Okay, so with a total roll of 14 on its perception check to find you, given the 13 base you rolled and your survival choice for where to hide, and your additional deception stealth, you guys barely squeak by that roll. By like a difference of 3, basically. So instead of, another swipe down at your heads, you kind of watch in the shadow there as it swoops low, continuing to scan. It seemed more focused kind of where the rock you threw had been clattering along the surface. And then kind of swoops back up, and a fairly tense 5 or so minutes where it starts to do kind of a circling pattern in the air before it finally kind of peels off and looks like it's heading in a different direction than your current location as it continues to scan for other nice snacks on the mountainside. But yeah, you are now in a little bit of a mountain bog corner, but significantly unharried by giant birds.
And that's what's important.
Thank God. Torag. The big man upstairs.
Is he saying this out loud?
All of it.
Yes.
It's Flint's. Okay.
Now his mouth's moving. You don't hear anything though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, it's 10 rounds,
minutes.
right?
Well, 10 minutes.
What?
Yeah, 10 minutes. This sphere of silence stays centered on the dagger and lasts for 10 minutes unless removed with a dispel magic or similar cleansing spell.
Where did that? Oh, there it is. Dagger of Silence. Oh yeah.
Speaking
Okay,
of which,
so yeah, it's still quiet.
it could also technically screw us because casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible inside the sphere. But I'll tell you what, it's great for fucking wizards. And I do mean like having sex with them, not like. I'm kidding.
Yeah, they can't counterspell me.
I'm sorry, I had to go there.
Demonetized.
Yeah. Sorry, Bradley.
I don't care.
I know you've been working real hard.
I'm gonna miss that $1.50.
I'll tell you what.
There's
This
no
month,
pizza party now.
the $1.50 is on me.
Man, that pizza was going to taste so good in 2024.
Well, to be fair, you can go to Costco and get a slice of pizza for like $1.50.
I remember if it was last weekend, if it was with y'all, or if I noticed it at a different time that my wife, through work, they have their own Amazon Prime account. I'm like, son of a bitch, I could have been using that free Prime subscription through my wife's account this whole time.
Oh,
I mean, it's only
but
like
Emily-
about 3 months that I missed, but like, there
that
was
sucks.
$2.50 for 3 months.
Yep. See, Emily is she started using mine now, so all of a sudden there's like twice as many orders, and I'm just all like, huh. So this is what
If you
what
have
happened.
Amazon Prime, you get like a free like Twitch subscription with it.
Yes, you do, and I already used it.
He already subscribed to himself.
Son of a
I
bitch.
used it years ago. I've had Amazon Prime for like 2000 shit. It says when I joined. I don't remember.
No, you have to do the Prime, the Twitch thing like every month. It's not like I subscribe to something and it's there forever. No, it's like you have to resub it every month with your free one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So you can float it around if you want to.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, sir.
There you go.
Well, what?
Pizza's going to happen in 2023 now.
Hey.
All right.
I didn't know that was a monthly thing.
Yeah, it sucks
What are
you
our?
can't set it for reoccurring. You have to remember to do it.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
What's our exploratory bait up to now?
Going the fuck back home.
Yeah. So are we continuing with this, or are we going back to the rest
We
of the
are.
dudes?
Probably just gonna go back. Now
Okay.
that we know that the wildlife in the area is unfriendly for
Yep.
some reason.
Crazy how giant creatures need to eat.
Yep. So I.
Flint, you're aware that what you've run into isn't necessarily out of character for the region. They've become much more of an issue since there hasn't been as many patrols or general defense of the kingdom itself after the kind of fracturing of the states.
Yeah. For like I said, for no reason.
Okay. Well, maybe if we get back, we might have enough time to catch either a short rest or a long rest ourselves.
Yes, one more long rest, please.
Well, the nice thing is that they would finish a little before us, and then we wouldn't be too far after them. So,
Yeah, it'd only be another like 4 hours.
yep. Well, I mean, at this point, we need to drop some sort of a plan. Like, so was that the only way to get up there?
I will tell him about both ways into the that I know of at the moment in time.
So what were they? Because I'm gonna be honest, I missed the other one.
The sewer pit.
Okay, the sewer pit. So what's the downside to the sewer pit?
It is
Sewer
a
pit?
pit full of shit.
I mean, I understand that, but I mean that there's got to be like a benefit to that as well. That like a downside, obviously, that is a downside. Are there creatures or anything that you know of?
You think
that...
somebody goes and cleans that out regularly?
So,
Okay, fair
Will,
enough.
you know, understanding nature and basic physics, that approach is much more covered from aerial problems.
So, Flint, I'm gonna be honest with you, bud. That's the way. That's gonna be the way to go if we want to avoid this hunting rock.
Well, I mean,
Plus-
we killed a dragon. I don't think it's going to be that big of a challenge for the gang.
I mean, fair enough, but at the same time, we're gonna be going up. It's gonna be if we're going up, we'll be at night. I don't know if this thing's active at night and how well its night vision is, if it is. But
Would Flint know about the local rocks and how they like to fly at night?
are they daytime or nighttime?
Daytime.
Or
nighttime.
Actually, that was
As
the
you just encountered one
daytime.
during the day.
Well, that was the daytime variant, so maybe there's
Yeah.
a nighttime variant.
It'd be much spookier, red-eyed, like
Yeah,
flame shooting.
it'll be on
Well,
fire.
if it's hunting during the day, and if it probably not or would be roosting at night, but
Well, but it's also
Really?
earlier, and it's earlier in the day right now too, isn't it?
Yeah, you're almost. Well, you guys hit midday while you were traveling.
Okay.
On your trusty steed.
He's got legs.
Yeah. So we can give it another go with the full group, or we can finish our scouting mission, and we can go through the sewer pit.
I'm gonna say, Will, you latched on to the fact that he mentioned underground river as like that can't be that bad, right? It's not just like, you know, piles of feces everywhere. It's got to be flushing through. Totally,
Well,
baby.
not necessarily that. Will is thinking more in terms of like in nature, in the forests that he's traveled and served in. There are certain places where animals do not like to go, and where, in general, it is not habitable by anything. Or in this case, a sewer pit clearly shouldn't be habitable. I mean, you maybe rats or something, but in general, there shouldn't be anything like. We're not going to run into, like, for example, a bear just in there, like, eating shit and like, oh man, this is my home. I love it here. Unless there's
Fair. You probably won't run into a bear.
I mean,
I'm sure
yeah,
there's some
shitty
really
bear.
friendly creatures that eat shit.
Just by their nature.
I mean, if it's eating shit, it's probably getting very few nutrients, and it's probably a weak ass creature, anyways.
Sweats nervously.
Yugs and
No,
Yeah.
okay. Listen, Flint,
there's some
I'm
nasty
putting
stuff in
it out there.
sewers.
I'm putting it out there. But if
Listen,
you're,
I'm not turning you down.
I mean, listen, this is your home. You know it better than I do. If it sounds like it's going to be too dangerous, or that we need to get the full group, then let's just go get everyone else.
I mean, do you want to go back up the hill?
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I feel like we could probably get. I don't know how close we were, and you know,
We made it like a quarter of the way up the hill from the path.
not as much as I'd hoped.
Yeah, we weren't even fucking like close.
I mean, we could probably kill that thing if it does come back for us, but I don't know how you're doing in your magical and fighting ability right now.
Well, my main issue with it is that it is a flying creature, and I do not specialize against,
Do you have any
Right.
spells or anything that you could hit it with?
Yeah, I could hit it with some real angry words. Back, ye foul beast!
Listen, I mean, we could play. So there's this. Not to get into too many details, but there's this sport that we play in my home city called throwball, and part of the sport is that there's a person standing in the center of this field, shaped like a giant circle, and they throw as the name suggests it, they throw a ball at one person who is hitting it. Now, typically they use a sort of flat, like almost a board, but it's got a handle on it. So think of it like a really flat sword. and they hit it, and they hit it away. So then they run and they get points by running around the circle. And basically, long story short, I'm going to keep the points out of it. Long story short, you can, like in that game, the bird is the ball, and you're hitting it with your, in this case, your warhammer, or your whatever it is, your maul, and it's a maul, right? What is it?
Yeah, it's a mall.
It's a maul. Okay, you hit it with the maul when it gets close enough. If you get, a really good hit in, you might knock this fucking thing on the ground, and we can just pounce on it. And that is how Will invented baseball.
Sports ball.
That's
Can
a
I get
real
a-
big baseball there, Will.
Can I get a cursory flashback to the last time I saw a gang of hunters trying to take out a rock?
With that description, it sounds
Like
like
how-
you made baseball but using a cricket bat.
Yeah, that's what was really throwing me off
Yes.
there for the longest time.
Yes. Well, I was trying to not use those exact words.
So you're trying to recall how you've seen people try and deal with these before?
Yes.
Some
how they-
heavier ranged artillery.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or how they don't deal with it.
No,
No.
I mean there were like heavy crossbows, a net launcher.
Oh, so maybe
So this thing that was flying after us was rather gigantic.
got it. Okay,
Yeah,
here's another suggestion then. Can
Gargantuan.
does Doppeldad have any weapons or equipment we could use?
What'd you just call him?
You're not my real father.
Okay. Dad / Doppeldad. I mean, assuming he's a blacksmith, he's probably armed many of the patrols who go
I'll
out
let
to...
you ask him.
Okay. Well, here, I'll tell you what. Let's go back to the group, and if we so choose to head back out that way again, then let's swing by the smithy and see if there's any equipment that we could use.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of assuming, based on the fact that they all didn't like immediately swarm and kill us when we first got here, that it's more so like they just pretend things are all right, unless they know that we already know that like the jig is up, and then maybe they'll attack us. So if we just act like everything's normal, maybe everyone will leave us alone for now.
All right. Sounds good to me.
All right, back to town. And of course, I remember to grab my dagger of silence.
After he walks
you
out
guys
of
waited
the
an
radius,
extra-
and all of a sudden he can hear. It's like, oh yeah, hang on.
Oh yeah, after we have this entire conversation.
So anyway, wait, what? All right, you guys are able to head back to town. You come back in kind of the south corner the same way you left, and are you just heading straight toward the temple?
We should probably check on everyone else just to make sure they're fine first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because you've been, in total, you're probably looking at like 3 hours of time spent.
Okay. So could we potentially get like a 6-hour short rest in while everyone else finishes their 8-hour?
You only need
long
like
rest?
you only need like a half hour to get a short rest.
Oh shit! Really?
1 hour.
Pretty sure.
Oh,
1 hour
And-
short rest, 8 hour long rest.
got it. Okay, so then a short rest wouldn't do anything for me because I'm already fully healed. So never mind. I don't think so. What does a short rest do besides just allow you,
You can roll your hit dice to get your heals back, and some effects come back on a short rest.
Okay. Ooh,
I will
do I
not
have any?
get-
I don't think I'd get. I don't know. I'd have to check. I don't know if I have anything that resets on a short rest.
Like I think key points come back on a short rest.
Yeah, warlocks get their stuff on short rest.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think. Unfortunately, I don't think I have anything that's short rest. Most of my shit is either spells or I regain charges at the beginning of the day.
Gotcha. So, just checking. So then you're heading back to meet up with the rest of the group first?
Yeah. And then I guess
Okay.
from there we can discuss whether or not we want to allow myself and Flint to get a long rest as well. That way we can regain some of our magical strength.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously we'll report our findings to the group, all one of them who's still with us.
As you guys are approaching, you can kind of see this from fairly far off, honestly, because there isn't any attempts at being, super hidden. As you're approaching the exterior of the temple, you can see there's about 4 other dwarves that are just kind of checking the outside, like looking around cautiously, kind of investigating the building.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You want to take point on this one, Flint?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I guess I will walk up while riding my sweet pony, and I will just get in the most obtrusive, like in the face as I can possibly get with my horse. And I will give them all the stink eye.
2 of them turn around. You don't recognize them in particular, and just kind of give you a quick startled jump as they see you come into view from around the alleyway, and just kind of draw out some. One has a hammer, the other has a short sword, and just kind of not like they're about to attack you, just like very unsure of what's going on. Aye, who goes there? I haven't seen that horse before.
Is mine.
And you are? The other one just kind of makes a whistle. And you, off in the periphery, you can see the 2 others kind of approaching to the sides.
I'm here to visit the temple.
Aye, sure you are. You know anything about the cacophony that was going on earlier? Can't find our acolyte anymore.
Will was not there, and thus he doesn't know what happened. So he'll give a genuinely kind of confused, like, huh, acolyte, what are they talking about kind of look, but he won't say anything.
I asked him to do me a favor, and he ran right off. We're trying to take care of the what remains of the temple.
He gives you like a long...
Speaking of which, the temple is the least of your worries. If I'm going to be honest, did you know that you guys also have a hunting rock problem?
I'm sorry, did you say a rock problem?
Yeah, ROC.
Oh, I thought you were making some kind of dig at the dwarves.
No, I love you guys.
Also, we're a fetish now, I see. No, retracting that last one. Flint, give me a deception roll with advantage with Will's interjection.
Can it be persuasion?
What? Hold up.
I mean,
Because listen, Will's got more. I mean, Ranger Will's kicking in here. He's taking care of vast swaths of land, and honestly, the land management up here is horrendous. Will wants to know who's in charge.
I guess this isn't.
You're not
in good
you're not
faith.
persuading him to believe you.
Why not? That's exactly how it works.
That's more like, come on, you should really join our group. You should think about things our way. This is okay. So I counter that with nope, that was not good enough. That was a good roll on your end.
Rad.
Um,
Turns out having some charisma is pretty decent.
Yeah. Well, plus you had advantage.
So their weapons, or his weapon goes away, and the other one kind of follows suit. And the guys that were approaching, it isn't like everyone just disperses, but the energy just drops a little bit.
I would like before they when they kind of lower their weapons and they're not posing sort of like an immediate threat. It looks like I've sort of disarmed them. Is there anybody in the crowd that I recognize? Other maybe people who would come by to the temple regularly, or acquaintances of my father's, anything like that?
In the four that you're looking at, there isn't much else. There isn't any more of a crowd out right now in the corner of town you're in than the guys that were investigating the building.
Right.
So that's your audience in front of you. You don't recognize any of the faces.
Okay.
They're in the regalia of the town. They look just like any of the other dwarves you would expect defending the location.
Okay.
But the faces are unknown to you. So they've put weapons away, but he's still kind of giving you the same. His demeanor isn't backing down any from you necessarily, and he just, right. I don't recognize you, or your horse, or your friend back there. Things have been weird lately. Understand everyone's on guard.
They're not in a guard uniform, right?
I mean, it's just so everyone there kind of, and it's similar throughout Grimspire. There's usually two shoulder patches. One is the Grimspire ram, and then the other is the whatever province or not province, whatever town or clan you're hailing from. So they're wearing the ram on the left, and then the Dunmaro emblem on the right.
Okay.
You see, you're working with the Acolyte then? Caring for the temple?
I
Heard a bit of craziness going on earlier. Just keep your guard up.
I can do that. You haven't seen him running about, have you? It's been gone for a minute now.
He hasn't been over here since we've been investigating, no. Where'd you send him?
I sent him to pick up some things from my dad and some general items from, around. The temple could use a little work.
One of them just
Again,
kind of chuckles.
Before we get too into this temple, I would like to emphasize the danger that exists surrounding your wonderful town here, by the way, and that they're really. And I at that point I kind of pause and I say, "Oh, by the way, I don't think I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. The name's Ranger Will." And he gives a little bit of a 2-finger salute, and I say, I've been, trained as a ranger my whole life. I'm from, from the forests, from the mountains. I've seen it all, and I gotta say, our journey around, our travels around your beautiful town here, have really kind of showed us that there is clearly some safety precautions that need to be made. One of the primary safety precautions needs to be the management of the local wildlife. So, who is it that manages and or leads your efforts against said wildlife?
Wildlife.
Yes,
You haven't been here long, have you, lad?
Specifically this space. No. Specifically, really anywhere. I'm still pretty young, so I guess, as my mother would say, no.
As my mother would say, no. Look, maybe you're just not cut out for living up in these hardy lands, then. We do well by our own.
I don't know. How often do you guys kill blue dragons?
About as often as they try to stroll up and enter the keep.
And how often is that?
It's been quite a minute, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Your friend asks some fairly simple questions.
Oh, don't get me started.
Listen, I'm just saying, we happy to give you guys some pointers. Maybe help out if you guys need some help cleansing the local wildlife. You know where to find me. And I gesture at the temple.
Aye, we certainly know where to find you. Look, you said you sent the lad over to your father.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep an eye out. Whereabouts is that?
I'll tell him exactly where it is.
You don't think? Hang on. Does the wildlife come to the town itself? I know you said that it's been a while, but you said even a blue dragon would even try to get into the keep.
No, it doesn't try to come into the mountain itself. Are you daft?
Oh, well, maybe.
I swear, dwarven sarcasm goes right over everyone's heads.
Yeah, sorry. It's now that you point it out, it makes more sense. Well, just keep your eyes out then, because we've seen some crazy wildlife. We saw a blue dragon earlier this morning.
He just starts walking.
We saw the rock. I hope the poor boy didn't get eaten. Or
I'm going to before he walks off. I'm gonna ask him how much longer until they open the doors to the city.
I haven't been told myself.
Well,
I'm just following orders.
Who would know? Who's somebody has to have some connection to the inside.
Aye, but that's above my pay grade. The rank and file are going to be told when it's time. Right now, orders are simple. Keep it defended. And watch out for weirdness like seemed to be afoot earlier this morning.
You wouldn't know how all this weirdness started, would you?
Well, today?
No. When the door's shut.
Where have you been?
I got sent on a little bit of an errand.
Apparently.
I heard there was an attack, and what happened exactly?
It was those fuckers from around the bend. As far as we can tell. Those Belizeans came out of nowhere. I mean, they surprised us, but we held them, and the fight made its way to the throat of the inner city before we held them off there. Once that was kind of pushed out, They shut the door, and we've been holding it ever since.
All right, all right. That could have been worse, I suppose.
It was plenty bad. Look around. Not quite so many folk.
Aye, you could say that again.
Right, well, I'm gonna go.
I will,
If you see anything weird, shout.
I'll shout. And I'll just head on into the temple with my pony. And Will be standing out there like a doofus.
I thought he was riding it with you.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely
still
not.
on. Yeah, I'm
He
still on
wanted me to
horse.
take. He wanted me to take point. Obviously, he got off the pony.
He's like shouting from around the building. Okay. You guys pass through the group as it moves on and make your way into the temple and then back towards the storage room where your friends are hanging out in a conveniently kind of wood and stone camouflaged bubble.
Nice. Been gone for a couple hours, and they already made it home. Nice and cozy. I guess.
So I assume you guys are catching the rest of the crew up on what?
Yeah. The sweet bird and my Need for Speed skills.
Y'all had a lot of fun.
Too much fun.
Pretty boring here.
Well,
Though
we
your
still
owl
have-
showed back up. I don't know why your owl was here.
Wait, what'd you say? Look.
Like Apple is like here
Ah.
with me.
Yeah, I think there was a bigger bird in the skies. So owls, being the very smart gift Saloon has granted me, returned here knowing he would be safer. He or she is owl's a boy or girl? I don't remember.
It's apples.
Whatever.
It's a whatever.
It hasn't picked a pronoun.
It's a meat popsicle.
Nice.
It died and I resummoned it here, so. As far as you know, it just flew home safe.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, not much happened.
I love how this.
Yeah, we
I can't
met
tell
the
if
local
Lucky's
wildlife.
talking or if Bradley's talking.
Yeah, we met the local wildlife. Wasn't very friendly. Also, it was huge.
We have some options about getting into the inner city, but neither are great.
What are those options?
Well, we can head up around the backside of the mountain and go up to the ventilation for the mines and climb in that way. Or we can go in through Darnamajar's hole.
Excuse me?
It's worse than that sounds.
What's in it?
Well, it's the sewer system for the city.
That sounds just like an asshole.
That's why that's how it's got its name.
Yeah, I'm for the mountains.
Yeah, figured we all might.
Sewers have quite a bit of flow in them, and if you notice, I'm not that tall.
Oh God. He survived every fight until the sewers.
Well, I mean,
Cool. So those absent vote for the mountain pass as well.
yes. I know we have a lot of people to give us their opinions and their thoughts.
Awesome. Well, we're going to use that as a jumping off point then, now that you guys are all, you've gotten a bit of a taste of what's going on the mountainside there. You've weighed the options. You've bluffed your way through a potential encounter, and we can pick up with everyone present and an entire party
Yay.
next week.
Next week.
So we're going to call it here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pull a card from Scott's deck. I do have something early to do in the morning as well, so...
Damn you people and your
Okay.
jobs.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, damn you.
Thanks, Internet!
Damn you all to hell, except the internet, who is great, by the way.